Hey Christopher,
What?
you ready to go outside and do something fun?
Yeah.
In a world where stores are closed and people are in hiding, one boy and his dad dare to work out in their garage, on their side-by-side, doing things that aren't really necessary, but make for a good time. These are the stories of Razor Adventures.
Okay, so we got a little project we're working on, and it involved this old winch. You might remember this winch from past videos and the fact that it quit working. But when we did the new winch install, we found that the relay was all rusted and destroyed and corroded, and that was the reason the winch quit working. So it sat on a shelf until now. Part of the problem with the winch is corrosion. You see, just from looking at the bolts here, it got some water sitting in there, and we managed to get the cover off, and inside the cover is just all full of rust and corrosion and stuff. It is spinning, but I think that's just the gearbox in here, so I'm going to venture to say this gearbox is okay. Let's go over here and look at the magnets. I can put the magnets over here. I think I'm missing one, and that one right there is broke. So I think our motor's pretty much shot. We're going to try and pull that off and then maybe replace it. We'll look for replacements later today once we get down in the garage here. Okay, so after pulling everything apart and then doing some research to calculate all the costs, so what this would cost to get this winch back up and going, we decided against it. And we changed our focus into what would be affordable and better. And we came up with this. We went and picked up a Badlands ZXR 2,500 pound ATV utility winch. The reason I went with this was it already comes with the relay, obviously, to run it, and a wireless remote. The plan for this was to get a relay and a wireless remote set up, which at the end of the day, besides the fact I couldn't find parts for it, was going to cost more than just replacing it with this. Now, this is a 4,500 pound winch compared to a 2,500 pound winch. But when you look and see what we're going to do with it, you'll understand that this is more than adequate, and being brand new with a 2-year unlimited warranty is going to be better for us in the long run. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got. Package came with the 2,500 pound winch, the roller fair lead, a book, a couple sets of mounting bolts. This is the wireless remote, the wired remote, which I don't think we'll be taking with us, and then the wiring harness, the relay, and all that stuff. The package is a little deceiving. If you can see this picture here, it almost looks like it automatically comes with a hook and a bracket. I guess I should have looked a little closer. But live and learn. We're actually going to do a little bit better. We're going to fabricate our own bracket to mount where we're going to mount it. And we also got a set of jumper cables, 6-gauge jumper cables. That's the same gauge that most of these ATV winches run on. This one apparently is not the case, but we'll work with that. So we're going to cannibalize a set of cheap jumper cables and use that to power the winch and plug it in, but we'll see that as it unfolds here. Okay, so Christopher and I did some brainstorming. We're trying to think of the best way to build this bracket, and building a separate piece to angle up and bolt to this fair lead isn't really seeming like the best choice at the moment. So what we decided to do is weld it right to the C-channel here, and we're going to mount the winch right behind it. We're going to weld the fair lead, and we're just going to bolt the winch to make things easier to assemble. I don't want to weld both of them. Okay, got her welded on. And let that cool. Everything's pretty hot. I'm going to show you how we're going to mount these. These are our cage clamps we got. They're steel. Really shiny steel. We're going to weld 1/2-inch bar to the top of one of these. I don't really care which one. Probably this one. It's going to stick through. And I'm not exactly sure, thanks buddy, how we're going to do it. I think we're just going to use one. And we're going to drill a hole in the center here. We're going to stub it up through so you can put a pin through it. And that's what's going to hold it in place. Either up through here or through the side. Haven't 100% decided on how we're going to do it yet, but that's generally the idea. If you look, there's 2 other clamps. It's for a different project. Alright, just a quick update. Had to stop for dinner. Got our first mounting bracket almost done. I'll clean that up a little bit. All I gotta do is drill the hole for the pin and we can get on to the next one. Alright, so got our brackets done. Got kind of a test fit going on here. Moving right along. We spent some time this morning working on some soft shackles. I recycled the rope from the old junk winch that we were trying to fix. That just didn't happen. So, waste not, want not. We took the old rope off, got her cleaned up a little bit, made some soft shackles. We got our bracket rounded off, ground down, sanded up. It's hard to see here. Oop, kind of getting crazy on you. Got her painted. And I went and took the brackets off the razor. Got those painted. I am not a powder coater. I'm not a painter. So this is as good as we're going to get for this project. Let's get into some electrical work while this paint dries. Okay, so I don't want this to get too boring. I'll just kind of give you little updates as we go. I bought that pair of jumper cables. I've clipped them off. Then I'm going to strip the wires back here. I'm going to put these 1/4-inch terminals on. This is going to be the end that connects to the winch. So that's that part. Got our connectors put on the wire. We put them on the studs. We just did a quick bench test. Make sure the winch still works, and it does. Just murdered the other end of this cable here. So we'll start connecting that end to wherever it's supposed to connect on this. We're going to get our wiring squared away here and get it figured out. So I'll update here in a minute. Alright, we made our connections in the cable. We got a battery here on the toolbox. All the way down 16 foot of cord to the battery. I'm going to test our wireless winch. The spool's disengaged. Okay, well I got the razor torn apart. I wanted to point out where we're getting our power from. There's these 2 wires here that I'd run up to the front for the old winch and then decided not to take out because maybe we'd find a reason to use them in the future. And I left the power and ground that I ran coming up from the battery. I wrapped up the power and the ground is just zip tied here just in case we were to put something in here we'd need power and ground for. Straight from the battery, it'll be there. So now all that's left to do is run them up and figure out how we're going to connect them to the electrical box. So I'll get that figured out and let you know. Alright, so we got our wires fed up through the center console, I guess out of the center console, and up. Sorry about bad lighting. There's a breaker, there's a circuit breaker in here, which is always good to have. We mounted the relay box, the circuit breaker, and we soldered and heat shrunk since we spent a lot of time underwater. So, we're going to do another function test here in just a second. Nothing's moving. Again, don't be surprised. I undid it. Or what's the word?
Disengaged it?
Disengaged it. Thank you. All right, we're starting to wrap up some of our stuff here. Christopher's got the old worn winch hook on the cable. I've got the winch mounted to our bracket with our clevis rings on the back. And I just finished tightening up these brackets here. I want to do a little bit more of a live test. A little more realistic. And I didn't want to break the bench in my shop. We got our winch hooked up to a tree. We're gonna give her some juice here. Get a little bit better view of this.
This looks so cool.
There we go. If we need more power, we can double up on the snatch block, or with the snatch block, and tip the machine right over. Once we get her out of the hole, all right, so we pulled everything back off. We cut the wire. We got one half of the plug. There was a mix-up at the parts store, and some of it wasn't in, so we got to wait till tomorrow. But I'm just gonna put the other end in, and it'll plug together, and we'll get the wire mounted up in the behind the seat. We're gonna get the winch cover, and we got our cable mounted in a bag back here. So when we need it, we open it up, plug it in, and we winch out. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for subscribing and hitting that like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell to keep up with all of our videos coming out. We got a few more coming out before our next trip. The situation now, I'm not sure where our next trip's going to be or how soon it's going to be. We do have one planned for the end of June, but we'll see if West Virginia opens up in time. So we'll catch you in the next video.